Okay, I'm going to start off this satsang with a global peace meditation. So if you'd like to join, just sit quietly in stillness with me. And then I'll go ahead and do the satsang. Please inhale deeply. Exhale. Together as one consciousness, we affirm the sacredness of being, waking up everywhere. And so it is. I got into non-duality about 5 years ago. And before that, I spent a significant amount of time in spiritual practice and meditation. I started meditating in my early 20s, and I started doing it as a way to kind of like quiet my mind. And at the time, I just, I was in my 20s just being crazy. And I had no sense of peace at all, like none. Like I was heavily disturbed on an energetic level. I was also very unhealthy um, on an energetic level, but physically as well. And my thoughts were so disturbing and they were so wacky um, that I just wanted them to stop. I just wanted them to go away. And around that time, I'd also started getting into yoga, Kundalini yoga, heavy spiritual practice. I mean, like daily practice. And meditation became a way for me to give up some bad habits, including just to be able to fall asleep at night. I was just very resistant to all of life, very confused, very lost, no direction. So I started looking for something just to simply feel better, just so I could get through the day. Anyway, about 5 years ago, I, on YouTube, a video got recommended to me in my feed. My ears clogged, so it sounds like I'm echoing a little bit. Just an odd feeling. And I clicked on this video, and it was from a man named Wayne Wires, Wayne, and his last name Wirs. If you type his name into YouTube, his content will pop up. And he also has a blog, WayneWeirs.com. He's since passed, but his photography, his posts, and his videos are still up on the internet. So his post came up and I clicked on the video, or his video came up and I clicked on the video, and it was called How I Woke to Enlightenment. And I clicked on that video, I watched it, and something in me became absolutely fascinated, like enthralled with what he was saying. Because at this point I'd been meditating for quite a bit, and in the video, he basically says that he was in Oregon somewhere and he decided to sit in this beautiful little forest spot and meditate. And he looked over and he saw this little frog sitting next to him. And you should totally watch the video because it's so profound. And it is the video singularly that got me on the non-dual path. But anyway, so he was meditating and he said to himself, I'm going to sit here as long as this little froggy sits here and I'm going to meditate. And he says after about 4 hours, he was going nuts. And he was like, how the freak does this little thingy not move for so long? Like, it's been sitting here for 4 hours. What the heck? Like, he was ready to tear his hair out. And he realized in that moment that the difference between him and the frog was that the frog wasn't sitting there thinking. And so I just think that's so incredibly profound. When I heard that, it stopped everything for me. And I had read The Power of Now. I'd gotten into Eckhart Tolle, and I was already into some pretty advanced spiritual texts, but it was like in that moment I had heard the thing that I needed to hear to stop. And so I won't go further into detail from there, but basically from those 5 years, it's been a very, very, very different experience for this body, like radically different. Indescribably, inexplicably different. Just the most deep, profound shift that this body could have had occurred from that hearing of that message in that video. And so I think that sharing non-duality serves a great service to humanity. And I think that for those that are able to hear the non-dual message, I think a profound shift into peace can happen. So I have just so much love, so much respect, and so much reverence for any and all of the people who are walking this path of non-dual consciousness. And I can definitely go on and talk about some hardcore non-duality and some hardcore non-dual terminology. And I'm happy to do that because I think keeping that message clean and simple is so effective. But on a relative level, in terms of the human experience, we will either contract and pull back and resist, or we'll open, flow, and allow, right? That's two very different experiences in the body. You can feel resistance very clearly. Like when your body's saying no, like that's a physical thing, right? When your body's saying yes, like that's a physical thing, that's an energetic thing. Like it's very easy and clear to distinguish a yes or a no. And in fact, it's very it's a huge relief to get a clear signal like that of this is an absolute no or this is an absolute yes. And resistance, when that contraction happens or when that pulling back happens, that doesn't mean that you are any less alive or any less awake or any less in non-dual consciousness than when that yes happens. That's the duality we're talking about here. And in non-duality, it's a pulling back out of that yes and no, a pulling back and into the frame of reference in which that yes or no is happening. So it's never about the yes or the no. It's about right here. It's about the experience of it in and of itself, the completeness of it, the instantaneous experience, the instantaneous movement of a yes and no or no. So it's a return back to the source of the yes or the no, not the yes or the no itself. It's a return to being that which is being done. That's what non-duality is. So I'll leave you with that for the weekend. And I would actually like to hear if, well, I'll probably do this anyway, actually, but if you would like to let me know if you enjoy these global peace meditations, I will continue doing longer meditations on my satsangs. I might do that anyway, but feedback's always great. So just sending so much love to you today, and see you next time.